Okay, I'm live from my phone now, so hopefully this time it works. But apparently I gotta turn off my notifications. There. This time it will work because my phone never lets me down. So, yeah, definitely. I've got a lot of energy and a big message today, so I can see why it's trying to be stopped. So this time it will work. I'm live from my phone. You can stay on now. So, I'm just going to give it a second for everyone to come back on. This time it will work. Alright. Unfortunately, I won't be putting on any music. That just makes the energy, go all over the place, apparently. So, I'm just gonna give it a second to make sure everyone comes on. And while I'm waiting for that, so lately, I mean, even over the past couple of months, there has been massive, like, awakenings and changes and transformations and everything like that going on. And I've noticed that when these things happen, we get so caught up in them. We begin to lose ourselves by trying to hang on so tightly, And I mean, that goes for everybody. It's just something that I've seen. And when these things are happening, we try so hard to control because we're losing control. We may not even be consciously aware of this. This can be happening because we see a belief of somebody else, or we're being triggered by somebody else, or they're doing something that isn't in alignment with what we're doing. And because everything else is changing and transforming inside and around us, we try to grab onto anything that we can. And I've noticed that lately we try to grab onto other people as well. We try to grab onto them and say, hey, this is where we need to go. And if you're not in alignment with this, you're not in alignment with me. But the thing is that every single person on this planet, every single germ, animal, tree, has their own divine role. Divine role. This means that no one is out of place. This means that no one is separate. And no one is superior. Whether we like it or not, every single thing and person on this planet is losing control during this time. Even at this moment, as I speak to you, I am losing control. that may seem scary. And that is why we have struggled so hard lately. And then even not struggling at all. Kind of giving up. This is why we're choosing these things. Because we're scared. And but then I've noticed we try not to be scared. Instead of feeling exactly what we're feeling in this moment, because it's exactly what we need to be feeling. We struggle to not face it. Every single person, every single thing on this planet has their own divine role. The only reason why we don't feel in alignment with each other when these changes, transformations, and all of this happens is because we struggle so hard to keep control. We don't like the thought of not being in control of our lives. This is why we try to work to manifest things, to see how we can get these things that we want. We work to try to almost everything we do is trying to understand and gain control of our thoughts, our minds, our feelings, and our lives. And that begins to project onto other people. We begin to try to control their lives, their divine role. Now even in doing this, if this is what you are doing, it's exactly what you need to be doing right now. It is the divine role that you woke up and decided to take today. Each and every single day, we wake up and we step into our divine role. No matter where we are, what we're thinking, what we're doing, it's all divine. And this, with change going on inside of our own sacred spaces, we begin to lose this control because we're being shaken. The universe is shaking us. We're coming out of our shells. And it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. And then in being uncomfortable and losing this control we felt we had before, we try to feel like we're in control by disengaging, running away, separating ourselves, or even in trying to lead other people. This is all a system of just trying to understand and connect and gain control over our lives and help others do the same or to do the same to others. Now, this is not wrong. No one is wrong. No one is wrong. Every person that you see and you come in contact with, whatever they believe, whatever they are doing, is exactly what needs to be done for the collective. If there is someone out there trying to raise consciousness and tell everyone that they are wrong, that even still is divine. That is their divine role. And if there is somebody at doing a job as a cashier and completely asleep to where they're going, what they're doing, or what's going on in the world, even that is a divine role. The universe likes order. The universe likes balance. It favors order. And there is this push and pull that's always constant. One person pushes, one person pulls. Half the collective pushes, half the collective pulls. And then there is and then sometimes it doesn't seem order at all. Sometimes it seems like pure chaos. But why does it seem like chaos to us? The only reason it seems like chaos is because it's out of our control. Right? We can't have order to it. We can't have what looks like order to it to us. It doesn't look like order. It doesn't look divine. It doesn't look or feel to us like the right thing. But it is still divine. It is still the divine role. You know, we call these things drama or chaos, but it's still divine. It's exactly what needs to happen. These things that come up that seem like drama or chaos, they're the guides. They are teaching us what's inside of ourselves. And you can be faced with these situations, and we run, we try to grab control, we try to hang on tight to our beliefs, right? When we lose control, we try to grab on to anything that we can. And then in trying to do this, we tell others that they're wrong for not changing, for not believing what you believe, for causing quote-unquote drama. Well, all that is the divine working through them to show you what you need to heal. I don't say this without knowing it for myself. I am faced every single day with situations where we can choose to blame somebody else for the way that we are feeling, or the way that I am feeling, or if I can let them be in their divine role and me go within and see why this is affecting me so much. Every single day, as much as I can, I choose to do the latter. I choose to go within. If I feel triggered, if I feel like somebody else is creating chaos, that is me trying to gain control. That is me trying to hang on too tightly to what I believe in. Everyone and everything has a divine role, so don't try to talk people out of it. So don't try to tell anyone they are wrong. Even if somebody is out there telling you the opposite of what I am telling you, their divine role is just that. They are doing exactly what is planned out for the collective and highest good of all. Like I said in my other video, if there's someone a cashier and is asleep, that's exactly where they need to be right now. If there is somebody telling you the opposite of what I am telling you, that is their divine role. There's this push, this pull. If you are claiming to be in higher dimensions, like 5th, 6th, 7th, 12th dimension, the thing about that is you are watching me. You are still also in this 3rd dimension. And with this 3rd dimension, there is polarity. There is the yin and the yang. There is this push and this pull. There is the dark and the light. But the thing about this is when we come across somebody or something or a situation where we feel this push and pull, where we feel this misalignment, this is where we can choose to be the magnet scenario, okay? You put two magnets together. Yes, Tammy, I am channeling. You put two magnets together, and on the opposite sides, right? They'll push against each other. They'll fight to stay away from each other, right? When you come face to face with somebody you don't feel in alignment with, that is because something between you and that person isn't merging. There is separation. There is resistance. There's resistance going on right here. And that's what happens when you try to put magnets together. It feels, you put them together in your hands, you try to push it together, it feels like the magnet is like, that like both of them are equally just fighting. They're like, no, 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 no. I don't want to merge. I don't want to be one. We are one, right? And everything I'm talking about right now, if it doesn't make sense, after this, I'm going to go through the 12 main universal laws that explain what I'm talking about. But with these magnets, they're in resistance to each other. But if you flip them, if they allow themselves to change, they become one. They become one. They stick together. They're in alignment. When we seek to be in alignment with somebody, we do not have to lower our vibration, and we don't even have to raise our vibration. What we need to do is allow ourselves to change. Stop hanging on so tightly to what you believe in and to your existence, to your experience. Allow yourself to change. Be fluid. Be flexible. Do not be rigid. So many people, yes, they're awakening. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But they're awakening. And they're causing more separation without even being fully aware of it. They just see it as misalignment or like it's somebody else's fault. Like the other person isn't in the space where they think they should be in order to be in our sacred space. But the thing about this is that this person is in their divine role for you in that moment. And I can guarantee it is never to run away. I, just yesterday, was in the role of running. In the twin flame of the collective and in the twin flame of my own relationship, I am the runner twin. This is coming from a runner. Oh no, high temperature. Hold on, I gotta save this. Gotta save this video. I gotta turn on the fan. Arizona heat likes to do that. So, let's see. Let's see if I can have the fan on and do this. Okay, that was close. Said broadcast interrupted. That was close. Alright, let's see. Sorry about that. The Arizona heat doesn't like technology. Or technology doesn't like Arizona heat. So let me set this back up and keep this show going. Like I said, I am not gonna stop. Alright. Having some difficulties here because of heat. So, as I was saying, I'm trying to get it here so it's with the fan. So, as I was saying, we can run away. We can be that magnet that resists and fights and just is like, oh, I'm right, you're wrong. You're not in alignment with me, and so we need to just stay separate. You know, just fight. It could be that those magnets that just but it doesn't feel good, does it? It doesn't feel good. I don't care who you are. I know that doesn't feel good. I know resistance doesn't feel good. We can convince ourselves it feels good because it's comfortable. Because it's comfortable. But if there is somebody pushing and if there is somebody pulling, that's balance. That is still the divine role that needs to be taken. But if you become conscious of what is going on and you don't take the action you know the divine is pushing you to take, you're going against it. You're in resistance. We work to unite. We work to be one. But if we separate ourselves at all, in any way, shape, or form, this is still separation. No, we're not separate no matter what. But are you going to run away when you're faced with yourself? Or are you going to finally face yourself? This isn't being everyone is mirrors. In those moments, I have found that in those moments where I have found that I see somebody is creating drama or creating a belief that I don't believe in, and I feel like saying they're wrong or they're not in alignment with me, and so I need to separate myself with them, I notice that has nothing to do with them. Nothing at all. It has everything to do with me. Everything. Every single time, too. Every single time. It has everything to do with me. And I notice I'm trying to gain control because the divine is trying to show me myself. And I'm trying to hold on so tightly to what I thought I had control of. I'm trying to obtain what can't be obtained. And like I said, you can be the magnet that fights. Or you can allow yourself to adapt. You can allow yourself to change. You can allow yourself to rise higher and allow yourself to live in harmony with all. And we can do this no matter what your spiritual level of knowledge is, no matter how one you feel with everybody. We are always growing, always expanding, and always learning. And just because we have learned something, this is something I just found recently, something I just downloaded, is that just because we have already learned something doesn't mean we won't go through it again to learn it again, because we forget. Our emotions, our triggers, our circumstances that make us lose control tend to make us forget what is really going on. Now, the reason why it's important not to judge ourselves when any of this happens is because it is still divine. It is still the divine role we need to take in this moment. When I allow myself to be around all different kinds of people, we try to separate ourselves in the physical from these people that we feel not in alignment with. But the fact of the matter is that even though you're loving this person from a distance and you still feel one with them in the physical, okay, all dimensions, right? You're all dimensions, all the way up to 12D, let's say that. Everything is one except for in the third dimension, where the physical exists. If one dimension is out of place, all of it isn't balanced. All of it isn't harmonious. So if you don't allow yourself to face yourself, and what you are dealing with as you face this person that is your mirror. Everyone is our divine mirror, not just our twin flame. But the thing about the twin flame is a whole different story. But everyone is the divine mirror. If you sense a different vibration from somebody else, if it feels lower than yours, what is it that you're seeing inside of them? Because if you look, you can see something bad inside of everybody. Bad. Something that you don't feel in alignment with. Something that you don't feel at one with. When we speak of oneness, we forget that we're speaking of being one with everything. This means those lower vibrations as well. This means the higher vibrations as well. So, if you aren't willing to face yourself, the other expression of yourself through somebody else, you aren't allowing yourself to face yourself, and you are being that magnet that is resisting oneness, that is resisting harmony. We allow ourselves to be fluid, to change, adapt. It doesn't mean that we need to lower our own vibration. This only happens if we allow it to. You can be face to face having a conversation with somebody who is in the second dimension, and you can be in like the 7th dimension. You can have this conversation and have them not affect you in any way. And vice versa. But if you're feeling triggered, if you're feeling upset, if you see something bad, something out of alignment inside of them, don't forget they're your mirror. Don't forget that we are one. What aren't you facing inside of yourself yet? Why are you resisting the unity? What is it that you aren't seeing? But the thing about this even is there is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong about this. No one is in the wrong. It's a different perspective, a different vibration, yes. But every single person comes into our life for a reason. Those that aren't in alignment with you, the universe will not send to you in any way. It's the law of attraction. One of the 12 universal laws. If you come face to face with somebody and you feel like they're out of alignment, that is simply not fact. Because you have called them into your life by a certain vibration you hold inside of yourself. What aren't you letting go of? Stop projecting it onto somebody else. Start going within with it. Start trying to see what you're missing. And if you separate yourself in the 3rd dimension, this physical dimension or social media or anything like that, that is still, though separation may be an illusion, you still are resisting. I have people in my life that I can choose to let go of in the physical because I don't feel like they are in alignment with me, because they create chaos or drama all on their own. But I don't choose resistance. I know they're here to teach me. Everyone and everything in our life, in our physical reality, is exactly what we need. It's in complete alignment with what we are. And we can choose to face it, or we can choose to run away from it. Every single person has their divine role. And in seeing that anybody is wrong, or that we get uncomfortable and we try to control, and we try to go back into our comfort zones, we choose separation in that moment. We choose, and even still, this is divine as well. This is the divine role that we need to take in this moment. I have been everything. I have been the runner. I have been the leader. I have been the egotistical, and I have been the compassionate and loving. I've been back and forth. But the ultimate balance is the neutral. If you can be the calm in the storm, then that means that you can stand in your own chaos and in others' chaos and not move. Like, you know what I mean? You can allow yourself to adapt, to be fluid, to be open, and these people come into our lives. But think about the law of attraction. These laws, these 12 universal laws that I will begin to talk about, is one of them is the law of attraction. These laws are set in place for the universe, for everybody and everything. With the law of attraction, nothing is placed in our life. We are not faced with anything that we are not in alignment with. And every single time we run away from it, we're choosing not to face ourselves. And in trying to gain control, when we notice this chaos within ourselves, we tend to try to hold on to other people, try to bring, it's kind of like a misery loves company type thing, but it's not misery once we get there, you know. It's more like you just want company where you're at because everything is falling apart around you. Because barriers are falling apart within yourself as you face this person, this circumstance, this situation. You're choosing not to face yourself when you choose not to face somebody else head on and stand your ground in peace and love. When you choose not to do this, you choose not to face yourself. And you're just in resistance. Keep getting messages because my videos stop like as if I'm done, but like I said, I am not freaking stopping. I am getting this message out no matter what. And whatever is trying to stop me, I send love to you. Because I love you, and this is your divine role right now. Sometimes we can understand the divine roles of other people. Sometimes we can't. And when we see a situation or person that we can't leave That's a sense of control. Or we can't control in one way or another. We get uncomfortable. If we can't change someone's perspective on something, we get uncomfortable. But why do we get uncomfortable? I can guarantee it's not because we're out of alignment. That person, this thing, this situation would not be brought into your life if it wasn't in alignment with you. This is why everyone is equal. This is why everyone is divine and one. Like attracts like, no matter what. So whatever it is, if somebody feels like they are not in alignment with your vibration, the only reason you feel that way is because something in you is in alignment with where you're wanting it to be, if that makes sense. You're losing control of something somewhere inside of yourself. You get the sense of losing control because your barriers are being broken down, because you're facing yourself, you're facing your darkness, you're facing your misalignment. And we try to run away a lot when this happens. We try to remove ourselves. No matter what, we're all one. Yes. That's just it. But don't forget, if you want to look at it as a multi-dimensional perspective, I guess would be a good way of saying it for me. If you want to see it as multiple dimensions from from 0 all the way to 12, if you are removing yourself in the physical plane, which is the third dimension, then that is still separation. You are still, well, it's more resistance than anything. Because, of course, separation is just an illusion. But it is still the third dimension that you are still on. As long as you're here watching this video, you are still in the third dimension. You can say your consciousness, your spirit, everything like that is 12D, 13B, whatever you want to call it, but your physical body is still right here, and right here is where the yin and yang exist. It's where the push and pull exists. It's where the alignment and where the resistance most occurs. It is where the separation still exists. We're never going to change what isn't meant to be changed. But that doesn't mean that it's out of alignment with us, because it wouldn't be brought into your life. It wouldn't be brought especially face to face with you, in a sense, if it wasn't in alignment with something inside of you. And everyone is in their divine role at all times. The cashier you see who's asleep, the hippie that doesn't know what they're talking about because it just seems that way to you, the dog that's on the streets, the person who cuts you off in traffic, the person who causes chaos and drama. These things, everything in your life is in alignment with you. Everything in your life is in alignment with you. You called on it by your vibration. So when you separate yourself from it, you separate yourself from yourself. But the thing about that is you can't separate yourself from yourself or anybody else, because we are all one. So eventually you will have no choice but to face it. Look in the mirror. Examine your life. See where you feel out of control. See where you feel resistance, where you see yourself running away. And like I said, this is coming from a runner twin. This is coming from a runner. And see where you're running. Where you're running, why you're running. See why you're projecting. Because it has absolutely nothing to do with anyone else, but it has everything to do with you. And let's see. And when we are faced with this, I saw comments earlier about love harmonizing all. I was getting there. This is ego. Where this comes from is ego. Lately, oh my goodness, there has been ego challenges for everybody, including me. The challenges of the ego have been strong. And this is just because it's time. If you don't know that it is time to finally transcend this, look around. Look at yourself. Look at your life. It is time for us to transcend this. All ego. And that is what's happening. No matter your spiritual level of knowledge and wisdom, no matter where you are at, I guarantee life will keep bringing you. You will keep bringing you. The universe, God, Source will keep bringing you people, places, things, situations that show you that you still need healing, that you still need growth. But that is the beauty of it. It shows us that no one is perfect. It shows us that there is no perfection, but yet there is perfection. And when we don't allow ourselves to face ourselves and we just run, or we project, or we blame, or we say somebody's wrong, or they're out of alignment with us, that is all resistance. That is all showing us where we need to heal as an individual person, as an individual being. It is showing us our egos. Working with our egos, we can become fully aware of it, but we can never get rid of it. Our egos are what anchors us into this plane. And it's connected to our lower chakras. It's connected to this earth. And every single moment is the divine role we're meant to be playing. But that's not separate from anybody else, from anything else. And how we can overcome this, how we can overcome being stuck here or even stuck here. Because just because we can see through shit doesn't mean we can see through shit. We need everything to be in alignment with ourselves to see through it. That doesn't mean just using your eye. The ego loves using the third eye. You wouldn't think those two like to come together, but it loves saying, hey, this person is doing this, and so because I can see through it, they're out of alignment with me. They are wrong. I can see through what's really going on. But you're not seeing far enough, because you're projecting it onto them, and then you leave it at that. And then you run away, or you go and find people that you are in alignment with. You won't allow yourself to get uncomfortable. We have to allow ourselves to get uncomfortable so we can change, so that we can grow. And this is inevitable. Change is inevitable. We're faced with our egos when these things happen. Our ego will grasp onto anything that validates its existence. Which means it can trick us into using our own ability to discern anything like that to make us believe it's not us. That's out of alignment with where we feel like we should be. How we can transcend this, how we can get over this, is to let our heart be bigger than our egos. Man, the channeling is making me dizzy. How we can transcend this is by letting our hearts be bigger than our egos. We are loved. We are one. When we notice we're running away, come back home. Don't run away, come back home. And home is right here. Our heart is what connects us to everything. Not our minds, not our third eye, not our throat chakras, not our freaking sexual organs. No, that's not what connects us to everything. What connects us to all, to unity, to love, to oneness is our heart. When you feel like something is happening outside of yourself and it has nothing to do with you, come back home. Come back home. Come back to your heart center. Your heart is calling out to you. Your spirit, your true, pure essence is calling out to you. Listen to it. It doesn't say run away. It doesn't say this person is wrong. It doesn't say the situation isn't in alignment. It says come back home to love. It says love. It says forgive. It says be. It says grow, learn, expand. You come back home. Getting out of ego. You can do this by coming back home to love. It may be just a frequency, but everything is as well. Everything is a frequency all on its own. But we will be faced with these frequencies without them being in alignment with us. That is the way the law of attraction works. Don't run away. Come back home. Center yourself. Balance. Come to the neutral point. Remove yourself, not literally, but I mean come inside of yourself and see why this is happening. Why this could be happening for you. What it is really showing you. Because it's not showing you that somebody is out of alignment with you. It's showing you what's inside of yourself. Let your heart be bigger than your ego, because our heart is our center. Our heart is what connects us to the all. Come back home to love. Come back home to beauty. Come back home to peace, to harmony, to oneness. Come back home. We can notice when we're attempting to control our body, and we can notice when we're attempting to control and and when we are in resistance. My mind's going faster than my mouth. We can know this by physical feelings. If we're feeling tense, emotional as well, anywhere in our body, if we feel tension, if we feel uncomfortable, rigid, like that magnet in resistance, if we feel uncomfortable in any way, if our body isn't relaxed, if we don't feel at peace with what's going on, that's how we know we're in resistance. And if we're struggling to get out of this resistance to the now and to what is going on and to ourselves, I've noticed that when I am like this, my body tenses up. And my breath is shortened, I hardly breathe at all. Some people breathe too fast when this happens. For those people, slow your breath down. Relax your body, starting from head to toe, or toe to head. Relax your body, and just let it be. And then, I'm doing it right now, and it's like making me even more like send out. You'll notice when you're in resistance. Your body will be in resistance. Your mind will be in resistance. Your heart will be in resistance. One or all will be in resistance. And you can relax your body. And then you will instantly feel a shift in it. So, now, with everything I just said and everything I just channeled within the past few videos, I'm going to explain it and show you what I mean by telling you the main 12 universal laws. And I need to get on my computer for this, but one of those laws is the law of attraction. One of the laws is the divine law of oneness, But in telling you these universal laws, you will understand what I was just talking about. You will understand and begin to see. Of course, it's your choice, and that's your divine role in this moment, if you choose not to. But this message, Spirit, this is a very important message. And now I'm just looking for, there it is, okay. So, the 12 universal laws. The first law, so there's 12. And the thing about these laws is that they are universal. They are said to not be changed or transcended, that they are set in stone. But once you understand these universal laws and you master them, then they can be transcended. So, the first universal law is the law of divine oneness. What this tells us, I'm going to post the links to this, okay? But in addition to what I am reading, I also have more to say. The law of divine oneness is the first of the 12 universal laws, and it helps us to understand that in this world we live, everything is connected to everything else. Every thought, words, actions, and beliefs of ours affect others and the universe around us, irrespective of what the people are near or far away. In other words, beyond time and space. So, and these laws were founded by many, many people, many, and multiple experiments and things like this. The thing about these laws is they were made by nature, not by man. And the law of divine oneness show that everything is one. And in knowing this opens up whole new gateways and portals for us, and mindsets and just expansion. And when we realize this law, we begin to connect to this oneness. We begin to see the oneness in all. But that is just the first step. It is the first law. So, the second law is the law of vibration. The law of vibration states that everything in the universe vibrates, moves, and travels in circular patterns. The same principle of just vibrates, moves, and travels. The same principle of vibration is in the physical world applies to our feelings, desires, thoughts, dreams, and will. Each sound, thought, or thing has its own unique vibrational frequency. When you hear people say like attract like, they're actually referring to how a vibrational energy can resonate with or is attracted to the same or similar vibrational frequency or vibrational energy. Basically, this is the reason why what others do or say affect us directly or indirectly. And and this goes with what I was saying as well. If you're feeling negative emotions about something, that is your choice, but you are choosing it for a reason. You're choosing it because of something inside of yourself. The third law is the law of action. The law of action must be applied in order. Let's see, somebody commented something. And once you master these laws, they can be transcended and worked around and things like that. But it has to start with these laws, because that's the awakening process. So, the law of action. The law of action must be applied in order for us to manifest things on earth. Therefore, we must engage in actions that support our words, feelings, vision, thoughts, dreams, and emotions. These actions will bring us manifestation of various results which are dependent on our specifically chosen words, thoughts, dreams, and emotions. The fourth law is the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence basically puts us in the driver's seat of our own lives. Our outer world is a direct reflection of our inner world. I was just talking about that. Therefore, we need to accept responsibility for our own lives. I don't know if that's a troll or somebody on here, but whatever. Like I said, I'm getting this message out. It needs to be heard. So, the fifth law is the law of cause and effects. The law of cause and effects states that nothing happens by chance or outside the universal laws. This means that we have to take responsibility for everything that happens in our lives. Every action has an equal reaction or consequence, and it is what we sow that we reap. You cannot plant a hibiscus flower and expect to reap a rose flower. In other words, every thought, action, words are full of energy. The sixth law, the law of compensation. The law of compensation is the extended arm of the law of cause and effect, which is applied to abundance and blessings that flow into our lives in the form of friendships, gifts, money, inheritances, and other forms of blessings. These various forms of compensation are the visible effects of our direct and indirect actions carried out throughout our lives. The law of attraction. Shauna, I love you. Thank you for coming, and I love you. You are playing your divine role right now, and I fully accept and respect that. So, the law of attraction. Everyone's favorite one to focus on because it gets us what we want. It gets us our control, right? It gets us our feeling of control. The law of attraction. This law of attraction shows how we create the events, people, and things that come into our lives. All our thoughts, words, feelings, and actions give out energies which likewise attract like energies. Positive energies will always attract positive energies, while negative energies will always attract negative energies. It doesn't matter whether you want negative or not. What you place your attention on is what you attract into your life. Like I said, if you have this vibration of something that isn't in alignment with where you want to be inside of you, it will show in your external world. You will attract that to you. So, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. I made a video on this. It was a download I got. I didn't even know that it was a law. But the law of perpetual transmutation of energy is a powerful one. It states that we all have the power within us to change any condition in our lives that we are not happy with. Higher energy vibration will definitely consume and transform lower ones. Therefore, we can change the energies in our lives by understanding the universal laws and applying the principles in such a way as to effect a positive change in our lives. The ninth law is the law of relativity. The law of relativity states that each person will receive series of situations or problems for the purpose of strengthening the inner light within us. This law makes it possible for us to stay connected to our heart when we proceed to solve the problems or remedy the situation, which is a test for us. This law also teaches us to compare our situations to other people's problems and put everything into its right perspective. No matter how bad we perceive our situations to be, there is always someone who is in a more difficult, worse situation, thereby making it all relative. Nobody is ever given a problem they will be unable to handle, as we already have the ability to handle them. Do not spend your time looking for happiness from the outside, as it already lies within you. The 10th law is the law of polarity. The law of polarity states that everything is on a continuum and has an opposite. And whether you're in the 12th dimension or not, this is still true because you're watching my video. You're still in the 3rd dimension. The law of polarity states that everything is on a continuum and has an opposite. There has to be darkness so that we might appreciate light. There is solid and liquid, and we can see and feel the difference. We have the ability to suppress and transform undesirable thoughts by focusing on the opposite thought, thereby bringing the desired positive change. This could also be likened to the law of mental vibration. The 11th law is the law of rhythm. The law of rhythm states that everything vibrates and moves to a certain rhythm. This rhythm establishes cycles, seasons, patterns, and stages of development. Each cycle is a reflection of the regularity of God's universe, source's universe, whatever. To master each rhythm, you must rise above any negative part of the cycle. But that doesn't mean run away from it, because that's resistance to it. That's not rising above it, that's resisting. So, the 12th law is the law of gender. The law of gender states that everything has its masculine yang and the feminine yin principles, and that these are the basis for all creation in the universe. As spiritual beings, we must ensure that there is a balance between the masculine and feminine energies within us in order for us to become true co-creators with God. Now, I told you the 12 universal laws. Look them up for yourself. After this video, I will provide the links. But you can't, well, I guess you can, but it's after already have mastering it. You go through the 12 universal laws before you can transcend them. So, look up these 12 universal laws more in depth if you would like, but they back up what I am saying and what I was channeling. Come back to love. It's who you are. It's time to act like it. Stop running away from yourself and face yourself. This means not just with you sitting alone in your room or sitting with those that you're comfortable with. It means harmoniously existing with everything and everyone around you. So, I love you all. Thank you for watching, sharing, giving love, and being open to this. I love you all so much.